The Temuan tribe, an introduction, their history and origins. To understand the Temuan, we have to look back thousands of years. They are classified as part of the Proto-Malay group, and it is believed their ancestors were among the first Austronesian peoples to arrive on the Malay Peninsula, migrating by sea around 2000 BC. Their name, Temuan, is actually a more modern term, introduced by the government's Department of Aboriginal Affairs after a census in 1960. Historically, they were known by other names like Biduanda or Mantra. Today, you can find Temuan communities scattered across the western part of the peninsula, primarily in the states of Selangor, Pahang, Negeri Sembilan, Malacca, and Johor. Physical descriptions. Outwardly, they are very similar to the Malay population, with straight hair and light brown skin, though individual variations are common. Historically, records show an average height of about 153 centimeters for men and 142 centimeters for women. Of course, these are just physical descriptions. The true essence of their identity lies in their unique culture and language. Their language. Their language, known as Bahasa Temuan, is a fascinating subject. It's an Austronesian language, part of the same large family as the standard Malay language, and the two are actually closely related. In fact, Temuan is often considered a separate language, but with a degree of mutual intelligibility with Malay, meaning speakers of one can often understand the other. Interestingly, it's actually closer to Standard Malay than some Malay dialects, like the Minangkabau influenced speech of the Negeri Sembilan states. The Temuan language is primarily spoken, not written, and it has several interesting dialectical variations. The two main dialects are called Belandas and Mantra. They differ slightly in pronunciation and vocabulary, but are mutually understandable. For example, in the Belandas dialect, the word for he or she is dia, while in the Mantra dialect, it's dian. The word for only is haja in Belandas and hajan in Mantra. Just listening to some common Temuan words gives you a sense of its unique character. For instance, I is ako, no is not, is nyap, and person is uwang or oeng. Their beliefs. The spiritual world of the Temuan is deeply rooted in animism and a profound respect for nature. Their traditional beliefs center around a connection to the natural world and their ancestors. They have their own creation story, a version of Adam and Eve, featuring two central figures named Mama Bungso and Ina Bungso, who are considered the progenitors of the Temuan people after a great flood thousands of years ago. They believe in a supreme being they call Muyang, who placed them on earth to be the guardians of the rainforest. This duty is sacred, as they believe that if they fail in their role, the world will face calamity. Their animistic beliefs means that every part of the environment, every river, hill, tree, and rock is inhabited by a guardian spirit. Rivers, for instance, are believed to be protected by dragons or naga and snakes, which can cause misfortune if their homes are disturbed. To navigate the spiritual landscape, they have traditional healers known as dukun and a village shaman or bomo who can enter a trance to communicate with the language spirits, with the nature spirits, and lead important rituals such as the sawai, which is an ancient earth healing ceremony. Their traditional dishes. This intimate relationship with the forest naturally extends to their cuisine, which is a beautiful example of making the most of nature's bounty. Temuan traditional dishes are ingenious in their use of wild ingredients and preservation techniques. One popular dish is ayam dalam bulo, which is chicken cooked inside bamboo tubes, infusing the meat with a subtle aromatic flavor. They also make a fragrant sambal with bunga kantan or torched ginger bud and grilled fish or chicken wrapped in aromatic leaves like semomo. A big part of their culinary tradition involves using all parts of available plants. For instance, they use both the shoots and the nuts of the rubber tree. The shoots, or pucuk getah, are boiled and eaten as a vegetable. The nuts, called biji getah, are pounded and added to dishes for flavor and texture. This requires deep knowledge, as the leaves must be washed in a specific way with coarse salt to remove naturally occurring cyanide. This process highlights their profound understanding of the forest's pharmacy. Another unique ingredient is tempoyak, or fermented durian. While its pungent smell can be an acquired taste, when used as a marinade for chicken or in a sambal, it transforms into something milder, sweet, and incredibly savory. Interesting tidbits about the Temuan. Now, let's uncover some other interesting tidbits about the Temuan. Their traditional governance was led by a village headman called a batin, and they once had their own political structures. One of their most captivating legends involves a creature they call Hantu Seburu, which might liken to a Bigfoot like figure. According to belief, this being was once a Temuan man who practiced dark magic, causing his body to become covered in hair and losing his ability to speak human language. The story serves as a moral lesson about the dangers of pursuing harmful knowledge. Also, during the Malayan emergency in the mid 20th century, some Temuan were recruited into a special paramilitary unit called the Senoi Prague, which was formed to fight communist insurgents. The past and the present. So, how has life changed for the Temuan from the past to the present? Traditionally, the Temuan were forest dwellers, living in villages and practicing irrigated rice farming, hunting, and gathering jungle products. Their lives were deeply intertwined with the rhythms of the forest. The past, however, was not without its upheavals. During the Malayan emergency, the government, fearing communist influence, relocated many Orang Asli communities. This forced displacement had tragic consequences, with many dying due to unsanitary conditions and the psychological stress of being moved from their ancestral lands. In the present, life for the Temuan is a complex picture of adaptation, and challenge. With Malaysia's rapid economic development since the 1970s, their traditional lands have increasingly been encroached upon by corporations and government projects. The government, through a dedicated department now known as JAKOA, has implemented programs to develop and resettle many Temuan into new, often suburban villages. This has led to greater interaction with the broader Malaysian society. Many Temuan now live alongside other ethnic groups in urban and suburban areas, and they speak Malay and English in addition to their native tongue. They are, in many ways, assimilating. However, this assimilation has come at a cost. Despite government efforts, the Orang Asli remain one of the most marginalized groups in the country. Data from 1991 showed a literacy rate of only 43% among the indigenous population, compared to a national average of 86% at that time. The average life expectancy is significantly lower, and poverty rates have been historically high. Their numbers, however, are not dwindling. In fact, the Temuan population has grown from just over 5,000 in 1960 to an estimated 30,000 today, and this makes them one of the larger Orang Asli subgroups. This growth is a positive sign, but it also puts more pressure on land and resources. Hope and prospects for the future. So, what does the future hold for the Temuan? The hope lies in a delicate balance. On one hand, there is a growing movement to preserve and revitalize their unique cultural identity. Efforts to document their language, showcase their cuisine at festivals, and share their knowledge of the forest are crucial steps. The resilience of their beliefs and their connection to the land remains strong. On the other hand, the future depends on recognizing and protecting their rights. This includes securing their ancestral lands and ensuring that development does not come at the expense of their culture and well being. The hope is for a future where the Temuan can thrive as Temuan, participating in the modern world while retaining the unique language, beliefs, and traditions that have defined them for over 4,000 years. Their story is not just about the past, it's an ongoing narrative of resilience, adaptation, and the enduring power of cultural identity.